we were taken to the special military tribunal headed by Patrick Aziza. In the Black Maria, anytime we sit down, I ask him, General, don't you think this situation demands a very militant approach? He said, not yet now. He believes that he's so good. You know, late General Yar'Adua was used to arrest during Babangi's regime, but the arrest has always been a 24-hour thing. You never know this one is an extended version of it. So after we were all convicted, the present person in power here was convicted to life imprisonment, and I got life, and Yar'Adua got double death sentence. So from there we were taken to where they call condemned cell, where we have to, you can imagine if you are sentenced to life the first year, the second year after our sentence was commuted to, according to Abacha, he commuted our sentence. Then we were all taken to Port Harcourt prison. They decided to do what they call the national character of the thing. Obasanjo, being a Yoruba man, was taken to the north here, to Jos prison before Yola prison. Dr. Beko Ransome-Kuti was taken to Kaduna prison, also a Yoruba man. I wrote his own statement that it appears that joining Shehu Sani with Shehu Yar'Adua is a very big problem. And most of the articles that I have been writing in prison used to be published in some of these Western papers, not Western, taken out of the prison. So it was in our very presence that the former vice chairman of Campaign for Democracy, Ken Saro Wiwa, was executed. We witnessed it. And it also our own very presence that other unknown soldiers in the struggle were also killed. Well, as time goes on, we spend the second year in prison, the third year. It was then that Yar'Adua started giving my thought a form of reason. That certainly there are situations that deserves militancy. Because I told him very well that we can't get away from this place here without doing all we can here to get in touch with people outside there so that they can really engineer or kind of spark also a form of resistance against what is happening. So time went by until he was murdered in Ebonyi prison. Well, I'm not in Oputa Panel, and I do not intend to go to Oputa Panel, for the simple reason that the panel is a waste of time. The whole thing is more of a publicity stunt for the Obasanjo administration. He is not interested in addressing the injustice of the past. He was with us in prison. We shared the same food, the same handcuff, and the same everything. So, things are not going on fine in the country now, there is no doubt about that. We all know it. This cannot be the kind of government that is run by someone who was in prison, who was also a victim of injustice. But I'm very sorry to say, even when we are in prison, we have always disagreed with him on the basis that I don't see him as a victim of injustice. I see him as part of that injustice that happened by virtue of circumstances to fall into our own place. And I've always maintained that. Well, we have gone out of prison and there is democracy, and 2 years after, virtually, this is what you call half-time and no-go. Poverty, hunger, pervasive insecurity is rampant here. The expectations and dreams of our people has evaporated. This was not what we all struggled and died for. It wasn't all that we labored for. And we know it very well. But one thing we must accept is that we can't do away with the global order, and that is democracy. If we desire a change, and if we want to bring the democratic process on track, then the young people have to get involved in the whole thing. Yesterday's men who were collaborators and beneficiaries of military dictatorships are today in the affairs of the country. Right from the federal level to the state and the local levels, I'm very sorry to say there are some people that have not participated, either for or against. But we are saying that it is high time for those who fought for democracy. And when we say those who fought for democracy, they are identifiable. The Nigerian press, the human rights community, Nigerian students, and academic staff union of universities. I'm very sorry to say that maybe because of the labor crisis, but the Nigerian workers did not vote for democracy. Anytime and every time we call for importance, they never join. We all know this very well. The other time when I came out, when somebody was saying that we are going to get involved in politics, he told us that we are not politicians. But we know it very well that the best time you can demonstrate that you are a politician, somebody who cherishes the ideal of democracy and freedom, is to reaffirm and assert that your belief at that very time which you know you are confronting dangers, and that is what we did. So when the terrain is very clear now, everybody is a Democrat. Everybody is a politician. And they are trying to lecture us on what is called democracy. We all know it very well that most of these people were yesterday the same men that came together and said that there's only one person that can rule Nigeria. When he left, then they came and told us that they have alternative. But we have never said the same thing. We have insisted on our grounds, and we are still insisting. But this democracy is not a gift by the military. It's not something that was obtained through begging and cooperation. The pressure is very eminent. It was so clear on both the Abacha administration and the person that succeeded him. Salam did not hand over power because he feels that he can hand over power. But he saw what happened to the person before him. That one is very clear. So the Nigerian students deserve recognition more than this from the government of the day. We all know it very well. The machine is nowhere to be seen. Last year, when the launching of Yar'Adua Foundation or something of that nature, people gathered there. The same people that kept quiet while he languished and died in prison were the same people now that are extolling his virtue. So this hypocrisy is not what we have been used to for over the years. We insisted. So there are different types of militancy. The one which was known to Nigerian students is about right and freedom. But we knew other militants, like the looting and treasury of the country is another form of militancy. So I thank the National Association of Nigerian Students for this award. And there is something which I want to caution youth organizations nowadays. Giving awards has become, I'm not talking of Nigerian students, the pastime of youth organizations. Awards to almost everybody. But I know it very well that people like Shehu Maygun and the person here who is representing CLO here, Nasir Pura, and many others have made tremendous sacrifices. But you can see it very well that these people have no role to play in the present democratic dispensation. It is very unfortunate. Thank you very much for the award, please.